Hey everyone, before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that I'm currently fighting a lot of allergies right now because it's the middle of summer and there's a lot of pollen, and I, have been doing some yard work yesterday, so I'm kind of fighting some allergies. So if my voice and I'm sniffing a lot, that's the reason why. But anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of the video. Hey guys, it's Joey Gaming and welcome back to another video on the Joey Gaming YouTube channel. Today I have another SpaceX news commentary video. So, I don't have anything else to say. Let's just get right into the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because I do videos like this every single day. Unless I skip, 3 videos, per once in a while. But, you know me, I don't upload all the time. Well, I try to, but there are some days. But, let's just get to the point. Alright, so first thing we're going to talk about is SN16 might go hypersonic. So SN15 recently did its test flight, I think back in April or March, not March, April or May, I don't know, I forgot. Yeah, it was actually May 5th. They launched SN15, and SN15 passed with flying colors. They actually landed it. There were some errors with it, like the engines, not all of the engines lit up, so the computers on board of SN15 had to compromise, which it was actually supposed to do that just in case one of the engines failed, so it landed just fine. SN15 landed fine. It was amazing. Everyone celebrated, including me. Like, honestly, I was super excited when I saw SN15 like standing there. Burn maneuver, burn. Come on. Oh.
Starship,
come on.
heading back
Come on,
to the lander.
come on, Starship. You got this, SN15. You got this. Don't shame your brothers and your sisters. Please tell me I landed. I don't know. Let's go! So, yeah, so SN15 landed pretty good. Elon Musk said that he might try to fly it, but there's no attempts that he was going to refly it. I don't think he's honestly going to refly it. He could, like, it's still a possibility. Like, all they need to do is that they just need to replace the Raptor engines, and then I think it's all good. They're still keeping it pressure-wise. They are keeping Starship SN15 still pressurized, though. So who knows? Maybe they are eventually in the future. But SN16 is going hypersonic. In Elon Musk's recent tweet, he said might try to use SN16 for a hypersonic test or something like that. And if you don't know what hypersonic means, well, first of all, supersonic means that an object or a vehicle is traveling faster than the speed of sound, and Starship itself can go supersonic. Hypersonic is like 5 times the speed of sound. And it's like, honestly, even some of the airplanes in our world, right? Even the most fastest airplanes in our world don't even go hypersonic. The closest airplane that can go hypersonic that is really popular is the what's it called? It's called the SR-71 Blackbird. But even then, it wasn't a true hypersonic airplane, because I think the fastest it can go is like Mach 3, and hypersonic is Mach 5. But there is one plane out there that can go Mach 5 or hypersonic speeds, and it's I think it's called the X-15. I'll show some images of the X-15. The airplane can go, I think it can go up to Mach 6 or Mach 7. I'm not completely sure, but that airplane can definitely travel up that airplane can definitely travel those type of speeds. So that's pretty awesome. And so that's what hypersonic means. It's like 5 times the speed of sound. Honestly, I thought they were not going to use SN16, because honestly, after SN15, I thought that, hey, they're only going to work on the orbital launch mount, which they seem like they are working on the orbital launch tower right now instead of, like, not testing anything. But I'm glad that they are still testing stuff. Keep in mind, we probably won't see as many as we used to see, because, well, they have to build stuff, and if you're going to do like a SpaceX Starship launch, you have to evacuate the whole facility. You have to get in contact with the FAA and say, hey, can we launch the Starship? And FFA can be like, yeah, go ahead, boy. And then they can launch it, But they didn't, do that, so they don't launch them. But it'd be pretty awesome if they can launch SN16 and Hypersonic. I have no idea what they're gonna use. I don't know if they're gonna use the booster. I'm gonna assume not to. I think Starship on its own can go. I know they can break the sound barrier on its own. Starship definitely could, but I don't know if Starship can actually break Mach 5. I don't know if they're going to pair up SN16 with what's it called, the booster 2 or BN2 or the first ever booster. I don't know if they're gonna pair that up and they're gonna send that supersonic, not supersonic, hypersonic, or it's just gonna be Starship itself that's gonna go up. I don't know. I have to see it. And to be honest, if it is going to be launched with the booster, they have to get that orbital launch tower built first, which may take a bit of time. I would say probably at the end of July that they will get it fixed. Honestly, well, maybe if we're lucky, the orbital launch tower will be built in the middle of July, but I don't really see it happening. We probably won't see the Starship launch until like August, right, for SN20 and BN3. But I guess we could be wrong, because you know what, Elon Musk can, you know, pull some very, you know, interesting things on us. But yeah, that'd be pretty sweet for SN16 to take off. Will I ever? I don't know what that means by hypersonic. I know what hypersonic means. I don't know if this is gonna be going straight up to like 100, not 100. I don't know if this means that Starship's just gonna go straight up, or it's gonna be going to the ocean. Like if it's just going straight up, this is a great opportunity to take it up to an altitude probably higher than 20,000 feet or 30,000 feet. They can take it up as high as they really want, and then they can drop it back and land it. But the problem with that is they need like a heat shield for it. If they already have a heat shield for that, I don't know how fast Starship or SpaceX produces heat shields, but that's something we'll have to see on that. Or they're going to launch it to the sea and then, you know, perform a soft touchdown in the sea just to test that out. I know some people are saying that, but I don't know about that right now. Elon Musk hasn't specified on that. Sorry, I can't speak. All right. Now let's talk about the U.S. Air Force. So the U.S. Air Force actually, well, right now it's June, and in the June, this is where all these government powers of the United States, right, go to Congress and they will propose a budget for, you know, the year of 2021, and the Air Force is suggesting that they want to get more money so they can invest into rocket delivery systems. And what they mean by rocket delivery systems is that they're gonna have earth-to-earth transport with rockets to deliver cargo anywhere in the world within half an hour. And currently, the only rocket in development to take anywhere on Earth, the only rocket out there right now that can take anybody or anything to the world within under an hour is Starship. So right now, it doesn't, you know, the report doesn't mention Starship by name, but it says, hey, we want to, you know, get more money so we can invest into rocket delivery systems, and so we can, you know, deliver stuff. And that sounds really cool. Like, honestly, Starship won't be used for space or taking humans to Mars or, you know, delivering stuff in an atmosphere. Starship is also advertised to, you know, replace airliners. It's supposed to be a spaceship that can take anyone in the. It's supposed to act like an air-to-air transport system that can take, you know, anybody in the world within not half an hour, anywhere under an hour, which is literally insane. And I think that the farthest place you can go is probably like, you know, 45 minutes away on Starship. So that's really cool, because think about it. If the military gets their hands on Starship and they put like tanks, you know, armored vehicles, you know, military equipment, maybe food or medical supplies, or even troops, right? They can really deliver that stuff to battlefields across in war. So if we end up going to war somewhere, the United States could, you know, get a bunch of these starships. They can load up, you know, equipment. They can, you know, load up men or vehicles or something like that, right? And then they can launch Starship, and then that Starship can land, let's say like Afghanistan or Russia or China, right? They can land in these areas in 30 minutes. So now you have a surprise invasion. You guys, now the United States can push. And also, you can, you know, maybe fly back the starships back I don't know, maybe if you can, I don't know if that's possible or not. But yeah, you can recover the Starships, put a booster on it, and then fly it back to the United States for a refuel, resupply. That would be just so honest. That would be so cool, honestly, for that to happen. You know, for the U.S. Air Force to do that. Because, do you know how cool that would be? Do you know how fast war would be in today's age? Because 1 minute, Russia or China can attack the United States. And, you know, within the next day, we have starships going towards Russia or China invading it. That would just that'd be really cool. It's a terrifying thought, you know, being World War III, being that fast. We were using missiles that can deliver troops, right? Instead of missiles delivering nuclear warheads, these you know, rockets and these starships can deliver, like, you know, troops and stuff, or vehicles and equipment, which will be super cool. But they said that this is a concept stuff, and they don't mention Starship by name. It's not really confirmed, but they said that the U.S. military, not U.S. military, the Air Force wants to do that. But now let's go talk about the Orbital launch tower. I kind of already talked about it already, and I said that it probably won't be finished until like mid-July, if I'm being completely honest. I know there was leaks and some people saying, hey, and Elon Musk said that he wants to try to launch SN20 by July, but I don't really see that honestly happening, because the thing with Starship, the thing with Elon is that Elon really is ambitious, and sometimes he doesn't meet his deadlines, which is a good and bad thing. He works very, very, very hard, alright? He doesn't give up. He works constantly, 24 hours of the day. He works. He sleeps at his businesses. And you know what? Elon Musk recently just sold his last house. He lives, you know, at Tesla. He lives at Starbase. He lives at these places because he's a workaholic. Like, honestly, Elon Musk is he's a workaholic because he's so passionate about stuff and he really wants to get stuff done. So, honestly, him being so ambitious is a good thing. But at the same time, he doesn't really meets his deadlines. A lot of people call this Elon time, which means, oh, Elon Musk said we're going to have a base by 2030 on Mars. He actually means that we're going to have a base probably by 2035 or something, or 2040 or 2050 even, because, you know, it's so ambitious and sometimes he doesn't reach his goals. But if it wasn't for the ambitious part of Elon Musk, we probably won't have self-landing rockets today, or massive vehicles that can take us to Mars, like a whole building-sized starship that can take us to Mars. Because honestly, Elon Musk, he really impressed me, and honestly, he's just a crazy man. And I think Elon time is actually a really good thing, even though there are some delays. But you know, that's something we have to do. Sometimes not everything will go to plan, and I'm totally okay with that. But let's go finish talking about the the Orbital launch tower. So like I said earlier, the Orbital launch tower probably won't get finished until like mid-July, because right now they're almost done stacking the whole tower. Right now, I think there's going to be like around 8 segments, and they only have like 6 segments up already. Right now, the 7th segment is, you know, at the site. They just have to lift that up and actually put the segment on top of the tower. And then they have to wait for the 8th segment to be delivered, and then that 8th tower to be, you know, to be lifted on there. Recently, they did buy a winch, or a little lifting thing, and they used it to lift up drills for, you know, drilling rigs for oil, like oil rigs. They have drills. So I don't know. They've been using pulleys. They got this massive pulley thing that can lift up to 1 million pounds. A lot of people say this is the catch mechanism for the for Starship, for the booster, but I don't really know about that one yet. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning to the side that it's actually going to be the crane that's going to lift Starship up and place it on the booster. But I absolutely could be wrong. But let me tell you, the tower is coming along great. I actually believe that it's taller than the Statue of Liberty, which is, you know, absolutely insane. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a comment. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and see ya. Peace.